just in case I don't have this here. If you want to throw a little music up there, you can. Completely your choice. But where I want to start is I actually want to start standing. I know, odd, right? I'm not starting you guys seated today because if I do, you're going to go back to sleep. And we're not trying to go back to sleep yet, right? So let's just start off top of your mat. Let's do a couple neck rolls. Just a little side to side. Just kind of check in. I know when I sleep, I get a nice little spot right here sometimes. A little kink in my neck, or it's a little sore just from sleeping. Just do a little check in and just kind of see how that feels. And then move on to shoulders. So maybe we want to go one shoulder, maybe we want to go the other shoulder, maybe we want to go both shoulders. And we're just trying to, you Will's got the house full today. Katie, are those your kids? No, she's like, nope, not my kids. Okay, good to know. And then just a couple stretches side to side. All right, I just want you to find a nice tall mountain. Ground your feet in so you're about like hips or feet are below your hips. And I just want you to bring your shoulders back and down, bring your arms to your sides. They can be out, they can be in, and just close your eyes for a moment. And I just want you to find 5 breaths. So just deep breath in, exhale out. Sometimes our breath is a lot more in our chest when we first get up. So we just want to try to take deep breaths, get some oxygen into us. We're just going for 5 breaths. And then you're going to open your eyes. I want you to bring your arms overhead. I'm going to back up a little bit. Now you can go your feet a little wider if you want. You can grab your wrists if you want. And we're just going to go side to side. Nice little stretch. And see how that feels. Ooh, I have a sore back. Tight. From Wednesday, my hamstrings are sore. Now I want us to come to tall mountain, just anywhere in your mat here. Take your hands into prayer position. So I'm going to push my thumbs against my sternum, and then I'm going to stand tall. And I'm going to interlace my hands, and then I'm going to lengthen my hands out, and then bring them up, and then release them back to center. Yep. We're going to do this a couple times. So we're going to press against our sternum, interlace your hands, lengthen out, then up, then release your hands, bring it back down. Back to center. Interlace, lengthen, up, and out. Do 2 more on your own. I didn't interlace my hands. And 1 more. Just doing a little joint by joint stuff. So let's go with a little wrist circles in either direction. You can go one way, you can go the other way. And then I'm just gonna gently move my hips. So I'm gonna kind of push my hip back and then roll it around. Oh, I feel that in my hamstrings. And just find a nice little stretch in our hips. This is how you warm your body up with yoga without going to the floor first, so you don't fall asleep, because that happens. Go the other way. And sometimes it feels awkward and you're like, it doesn't feel right. But by the end of this, you're going to feel good. So if you're sore, you're going to feel good by the end of this. All right. We are going to grab your knee. So you're going to balance. So if you need, not really balance, but you need something to hold on to, you can. What we're doing is just going for a nice little knee to chest. So if you need something to hold on to, no biggie. Just gonna go a little knee to chest, then alternate to the other side, knee to chest. And then you're gonna go grab your ankle, find a nice quad stretch. So here, I love this stretch because I can press my knee down and get a really deep stretch in my quad and my knee. And then I'm gonna switch it. Other side. You might feel that in your hamstring. And then you're gonna come back here and find a nice little hug it in again. Hug it in again. Bring it here. Bring it here. Ooh. Do one more of those. Here. 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 And here. Nice. All right, so you're coming to the top of your mat. So I have numerous mats. You can see me in numerous ways. So we're coming top of our mat, and we're just gonna ground into the floor. So pick up your toes, like lift up just your toes, and then press your toes down, like spread your toes out, and then ground into the floor. Rise up on your on your tippy toes, and then bring it back down. And just kind of rock back on your feet, move your feet, lift them up, and then place them down so you feel your feet in the floor. Okay? Bring the shoulders back and down, close down your eyes, feel your feet in the floor. And we're gonna come back here for a moment and just take 5 breaths. Deep breath in, you might feel your shoulders come up to your ears, but when you exhale, bring it down into your belly and let the shoulders come down from those ears. Let your back kind of relax and let yourself stand nice and tall. And all we want to worry about here is just simply being and breathing. And just taking a moment to center us for our day. Now you're going to open your eyes. You're going to bring your arms all the way up, lengthen all the way up, and then we're going to exhale and we are going to fold down. Ooh, you might feel those hamstrings. So if you're feeling a little tight, you can always have those blocks there, okay? So I'm going to move my legs just a little bit, just because they are a little sore from those deadlifts on Wednesday. And then I'm going to go legs straight, fingertips to shins, lengthen up, shoulders back. You should feel this in your hamstrings if you did Wednesday's workout. Whoo! Now you're going to plant your hands down. You're going to step back, hop back, jump back. You can always come to your knees and then lower down, chaturanga. Just like a push-up. And then you're going to come either Sphinx pose on your forearms or up dog or cobra, whatever feels best for you. Then you're going to meet me in down dog. So walk it out a little bit, see how that feels. By the end of this, we're going to be feeling good. And then bend your knees, look at your hands, step, hop, jump, float, hobble if we need. Fingertips to shins, lengthen up, shoulders back. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Exhale and fold. So bend your knees if you need to, move a little. Then bend both your knees, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Gentle little squeeze when you get to the top. Bring the arms all the way up. You can always go wherever you want at the top of your mountain. Whatever feels good to you. We're gonna do that one more time. We're gonna exhale and fold it back down. Bend and move and breathe. Legs come straight, fingertips are going to come to shins, lengthen up, shoulders back. You're looking for that straight leg deadlift. Then plant your hands, step back, hop back, jump back, high to low. It's like a really controlled push-up where you can always come to your knees. And then Sphinx, up dog, cobra, find a nice little stretch. Lengthen those toes back, press that pelvis into the floor if you have your pelvis on the floor. And then meet me in down dog. Find that nice little stretch, walk it out if you need. I love walking out in down dog. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. Then bend your knees, look at your hands, step, hop, jump, float. Fingertips to shins, lengthen up. Exhale and fold. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit like, whew, I can feel my hamstrings maybe a little bit. Then bend your knees, roll yourself all the way up to standing, gentle little squeeze, bring the arms all the way up. Again, you can go wherever you choose. And then bring the arms down at your sides. Now, if you have a block, I'd recommend a block. If you don't have a block, that's okay. You're just gonna maybe do it without a block. And I'm gonna show you from both directions. So we're gonna do a little yoga sit to stand because they're so good for you. So I'm gonna have a block in front of me. I'm gonna bring my feet kind of wide as my mat. So I'm wanting to think how, if I wanna really get into my squat, okay? So what I'm gonna do first, and you can watch me and then we can do this. I'm gonna hinge back and find this, right? So I'm gonna find here, and this is where I like to play around with a little cat-cow. So I kind of play around with this here. I might cat up and then come to neutral. And then I'm gonna sit down. So I'm gonna drop my butt down towards my heels, and I'm gonna try to bring my elbows to my inside of my knees, right? To open my hips up like this. And I might be here. Now you can do a little come back here, and then I bring my feet in and I come to neutral, and then I press up to cat, come back down, bring it out, drop down here. If let's say you can't quite get here, right? You can bring a block here and sit here to open up that and come back here. So there we go. All right, we're gonna do 3 of these. So I'm gonna bring my hands down to my block. I'm gonna turn my feet out a little bit and maybe do a little cat-cow. And then I'm gonna come to neutral, drop my knees down, drop my butt down towards my heels, and then press open my hips with my elbows. And then I'm gonna bring it back to center, come back, press all the way up. And then I'm gonna do this 2 more times. Ooh, if you guys got sore hips like I do today. So your goal is, we're doing like 3 or 4 of these. And if you want to move just a little bit in the bottom of your squat, just be mindful of how you move. And then we're going to bring it back up. I'm going to bring my feet back in. So I'm about hip width or a little bit wider. I'm going to press up like a cat. And then what I'm going to do is keep my hands on my block, and I'm going to come to a neutral spine. So what I'm going to do is press my right hand into the block. I'm going to bend my right knee deeply and keep my left leg straight, and then roll my right arm or left arm, excuse me, all the way up. Now, if I want to bring it behind me and bind it, or bring it behind my low back to open up, I can. Now, what I'm going to do is take my left hand and bend my left knee and place my left hand where my right is. Take my right hand, bend my left, straighten my right, bring it up. So the arm that's straight, or the leg that's straight, is the arm that's in the air. And then you bring it back down, bend both knees. And then I'm going to straighten my left, bring my left arm up, find a nice little stretch. And then I'm going to switch sides again. We're doing 3 on each side. Oh, my last one. Leg that is straight is arm that is straight. The other leg is bent. Woo, bring it back to center. Remove your block if you need to, or keep it for a second and just find a nice little forward fold. Maybe you're like, ooh, let's see where I can get in my hamstrings. Maybe you're like, ooh, that's tight. I just need to slightly bend and move, right? Whatever works best for you. Now bend your knees, roll yourself up to standing, gentle little squeeze, bring those arms up. Maybe you go side to side. Maybe you roll it around a little. And then bring your arms down. Okay. We're gonna do a little, hopefully we feel a little like, okay, that's feeling a little more mobile, right? Now, what I want us to do is you need 2 blocks. I like to use 2 blocks in this pose for a reason. We're gonna do, and we're not gonna flow into this because I'm not trying to kill your shoulders today, guys. So that's why you're not gonna see a lot of chaturangas today, right? But we are gonna feel good in our shoulders and our legs when we're done. So I have 2 blocks right on either side of me. And I am going to kind of place my feet about hip width apart between the 2. Now what I wanna do, actually, a little closer. Here we go. Now I'm gonna step back with my right foot and I'm gonna train track it. Okay, so I look like this. I'll do this from this way and then I'll go to the side. So I look like this. Knees and toes are in the same direction, okay? So, but my hips, so if you think of your hips like headlights, they're facing forward, okay? They're not facing the side, they're facing forward. We're going forward first. My legs are straight. I wanna keep my ribs in. And what I'm gonna do is, and you can watch me first, I'm gonna push my hip back and I'm gonna bring my hand down to here. Now, this is an intense side stretch. So this is what it looks like since you saw me first set up here like this. So I'm gonna keep my ribs in, I'm gonna hinge at my hip, and I'm gonna press down into my heel, and I'm gonna feel this stretch right here. Okay, I come to blocks, because see how if I come here, I have to come way to the floor. I don't wanna worry about that right now. I wanna worry about blocks or something I can hold on to. And I wanna think about grounding into my left heel and grounding into end toe and grounding into my right heel and toe and finding this intense stretch in the hamstring. Now, if you want a little bit, like kind of mix it up, bend your back knee, keep your heel or your whole foot on the floor and ground into that left heel. Deeper stretch in the hamstring. If you need to come back up, you come back up to straight. I like to also do this one. My back stays flat and I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna bend the back knee and come off the heel, but at the same time, press down into my left heel and find that deep stretch. And then bring it back and find that intense stretch here. Now, before you come out of this pose, bend the left knee, then come up so you don't take this in the low back, okay? Bring it back forward. Maybe I do a little hip circle, whatever feels good, okay? Now we're gonna go into that same side and we're gonna go into a high lunge, okay? But I'm gonna step back with my left. This time my heel is up, okay? My front leg is gonna eventually be bent, okay? So I just wanna think about I'm not shoving my knee way over my toes. Now, if you feel like your hips are a little like, when your back leg is locked, your hips are essentially locked. So I want you to bend your back knee, okay? Squeeze your butt. You'll feel this quad fire. Lengthen up, send the heel back, but don't touch it. You're gonna get a deep stretch in this hip. Now, sometimes I need to shimmy back a little bit, that back foot, to get a little deeper. I might bring my arms up. I might leave my arms here, right? I might keep them at my hips. Now, if you're like, this is too intense, Holly, I need a break, then you bend the knee. That's how you come out of it. And you step it forward. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do that one more time on that side, because once you get the feel of it, then we can go down into, drop our knee down into a low lunge. So I'm gonna step back in the same position. Heel is up. Find my balance, because this is a balance. Bend the back knee, squeeze my glute, lengthen up, send the heel back. If I need to shimmy the toe, I do. Hands can go wherever you need them, right? Now we're gonna make this really easy. We're gonna bend the back knee and bring it to the floor. Look at that. See how easy that is? Just bring it to the floor. Now, I'm gonna use my blocks because I like to use blocks because then I can feel this pose right here. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is take my left hand outside of my right knee, and I'm just gonna get a little stretch in with my arm. Couple times. And then I'm gonna find a nice little, we've done these before, come forward and find that deep stretch in the hip. It's just usually we do this first, but I kind of wrote a little one to keep us awake first so I don't put you right to sleep. Now hinge back and find that stretch in the hamstring. Ooh, we haven't touched the right side really yet. And bring it forward one more time. And then bring it back. Now you can set your blocks just to the side. You can bring that leg behind you so you're in tabletop. If you want a hip circle, you can. We did the left side. So we're gonna down dog first. Find a nice little stretch. We haven't done a lot of these. And then bend your knees, look at your hands, step, hop, jump, float. Fingertips to shins, lengthen up. Exhale and fold. Then bend your knees, roll yourself up to standing, and then we're back to the top. So we were left leg back. Now we're gonna be right leg back. So we're train tracking our legs. So we look like this. I want to think about keeping my ribs in, and we're going to hinge at our hip, right? Our headlights are straight. We're going to hinge at our hip. That was the wrong foot. Whatever foot you had opposite, my bad. I didn't think I had my right first. I think I had my left. I think I'm all discombobulated, whichever leg you didn't do. All right, mine was this way. We're gonna hinge at our hips, press down into our heel, keep our ribs in, find those blocks. Ooh, yep, that was the side I didn't do. Okay, so we wanna think about not losing it in our low back, grounding into that front heel, grounding back into that back heel, and then grounding into your big toes. You go feel this in your hamstring, especially after Wednesday. At least I think you probably do. Ooh, if you're anything like me right now. Ooh, now, if you want to do fun little things like bend the back knee, as you do that, you press down into the front heel, or you can bend the back knee and lift the back heel, and make sure you just ground and push into that front heel because it gets you a deeper stretch into the hamstring. Whew. Then bring it back, bend the front knee, stand it up. If you want to hip circle it, you can. And then we're going to high lunge on this side. I got my sides right now. See, I'm waking up. So I'm going to step back with my right this time. Now I want to be off the heel. So I'm going to first find this. Now my hips are like not where I want them to be. So I'm going to bend the back knee, squeeze my glute. That right quad fires. I'm going to lengthen up, keeping my pelvis, send my heel back, but don't touch it to the floor. Ooh, this is a little bit of balance. Hands can come wherever you need them to. Ooh, if it's intense, bend the knee, step it forward, hip circle it if you need to. And we're gonna do that again, and then we're gonna go into the low lunge. Your hips are gonna feel great after this today, I promise. Yoga hurts when you do it. And then about an hour later, you feel great. You're gonna step it back again. Same thing here. So off the heel, bend the knee, squeeze the glute, lengthen up, heel back, but don't touch it to the floor. You could keep your hands here. Woo. You could interlace them. You could go hips, heart center, arms up, whatever floats your boat today. Now, when you're ready, you're gonna bend the knee, bring it down to the floor. So bring that front foot forward just a little bit, just slightly, so we can drive down that hip and find that nice little stretch. Man, I'm sore from Wednesday. Super sore from Wednesday. Now you're gonna hinge it back, Find that stretch in the hamstrings. The most important thing here is breathing. So if you find yourself and you come back, because trust me, I felt that nice little stretch in my hamstring. It wasn't a little stretch, it was a big one. But when I bring it back, my face wants to go, and don't do this and not breathe. So just think about each time you come in and out of it, you know what to expect. So it becomes a little bit less like, oh, that's super tight. And then we tend to relax a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna put our blocks just to our side. We're gonna bring our leg back. I'm gonna move a little bit. I'm gonna hip circle. And then you're gonna take a moment and we're gonna bring our knees out as wide as you want. Big toes can touch. You're gonna slide those hips back and you're gonna come into child's pose. If you don't wanna put your head on your mat, you can always use a block. Whatever works best for you. If you want a deeper stretch in your arms, you can also take 2 blocks and go thumbs up. Bring your head down to your mat. And you're just trying to send those hips back to your heels. And I want you to just take a moment and notice where your belly is and your low back. And notice if you're pushing your belly to the floor and overarching your back, or if you're doing a little gentle squeeze and then bringing your hips back towards your heels. And that kind of allows you to lengthen out your torso without overextending your back. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Take a moment to just simply breathe. Maybe move your hips a little bit from side to side. See how that feels to you. See if your hips are a little bit more open than when we first started. All right, so we're gonna bring it back up to tabletop. We're gonna bring our knees under. Might get a little cat-cow quick. Oh yeah, because that's one of the best feelings ever. Don't worry, we will get there. We will end up in cat-cow eventually. So step your hands about 1 step forward, curl your toes, bring your hips up and back, walk it out if you need to. And then bend your knees, look at your hands, step, hop, jump, float. Fingertips to shins, we're gonna lengthen up. Notice how much different that is from just when we did this the first time. And exhale and fold. Bend your knees as much as you want. If you're starting to feel like, oh, my legs are starting to feel normal again, and maybe you wanna grab your back of your calves or your feet, or place your hands under your feet. That's a deep hamstring stretch. It's one of my faves. I press my feet into my hands and bring my shoulders back and down, and you get this deep stretch down in that hamstring. Then you're gonna bend your knees. You're gonna roll yourself back up. Bring the arms up and go wherever you want. Maybe you roll it all around. And then bring your hands all the way back down. Ooh, how do your hips feel? Feeling good? Like you have hips again? I feel like I have hips again. Okay, we're gonna do, I'm actually gonna turn my mat for this one so you guys are like, because you're gonna come to the side of your mat is how you're gonna do this. And I'm gonna bring my feet out as wide as I can-ish. We're gonna do star pose, but we're gonna set ourselves up for another pose and just do a little hip flow. So what I'm gonna do first is bring my arms all the way up like a nice big star, right? I can even do a little back bend back if I want, or not, right? Now bring your hands down to heart center. And I want you to take that front right foot and turn it forward. Okay, now notice how my leg is straight. What I wanna see is I go straight legs first. I wanna see bent knee here. So this is where we're going for. Now, if you look like this, you look like that, you need to move that foot out. So that's why I go straight first, right? And then, because my hips are here first, but when I turn my foot, and I'm about heel to arch. And what I want is your hips open to me. So if you don't feel like your hips are open to me, then lift the toes and slide the heel back. Okay, so this is where we're coming to. Woo! You might feel that in the inner thighs. So this is why I like to come into this pose first, a few times, and be like, okay, how does this feel? Because we're opening up to warrior two. So your hips and your headlights are not forward, your hips are to the side. All right, so we're gonna bring the arms down, or we're gonna bring the leg down. We're gonna stay here, nice and tall. Arms are gonna come here, nice and strong. Whoo. So shoulders back and down, arms are strong, gaze is over fingertips. Front knee is bent. Grounding into that whole back foot. Now I'm gonna bring my elbow to my knee. I'm gonna engage in that elbow and then extended side. Now, if I'm feeling it, I could take a block here. I could take no block. I could bind, half bind, whatever I feel I want to. Woo. I'm gonna take my left arm, bring my left arm back up, come back up to straight legs, and then come back down to warrior two again. Woo, feel them hips opening up? Now, I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna bring it to my shin and I'm gonna push my leg straight. And I might stay at my shin and find a triangle. I might bring my hand to my block. I might bring my hand to the floor. Now, when you wanna come up from triangle, you're gonna bend that front knee and then gently come back up. Turn your foot. Let's first heel toe it quick for a sec. Whew. Maybe hip circle it. You're gonna stay in the same position. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go out wide again. We're gonna go star pose. And then we're gonna turn the left foot that way. See how, look at, you guys are learning transitions without having to do down dogs and vinyasas. So right now I feel like my hips are kind of here and I want them here. So how do I fix that? I'm gonna lift my heel, slide it back, and then I'm just gonna find this first. So I'm about heel to arch, and I'm gonna come here and here. And I'm looking for the stretch in the inner thigh. Woo. You're sweating, it's good. Yoga is work. But it's work where we focus on breathing and feeling good in our body. So this might be like, whoo, this is tight, but afterwards you're gonna feel good. So I'm gonna drop it down. I'm gonna bring the arms out. So I'm evenly on my feet. Hips are open up, I'm not sticking my booty out. Shoulders are back and down. Bring the elbow to my knee. Keep that arm engaged. Gaze up at the fingertips. You want a half bind here, you can too, where you open up and bring the hand to your low back, palm up. Now I'm gonna bring it back up to warrior two. I'm gonna go straight leg first and then bring it back down. And then I'm gonna push my hip back, straighten my leg, find a triangle. Remember, if you need to come out of triangle early, you just simply bend that front knee first. So I'm gonna bend the front knee, I'm gonna bring it back up. Might find one more warrior two. Turn my foot, heel toe it. Woo. And then whatever you need, okay? Turn to the top of your mat while we're here. Bring the arms up. Exhale and fold it down. So take a moment just to check in. Check in with your legs. Check in with those hamstrings. And just see how things feel. Now, fingertips to shins, lengthen up, halfway lift. Exhale, we're gonna fold one more time. And you can ragdoll your arms, you can keep bending, whatever makes your body feel the best. Halfway lift again. Fingertips to shins. Lengthen out your spine. So you're thinking straight leg deadlift here. And then I want you to plant your hands down. I want you to step back, hop back, jump back. And you're gonna go high to low. You can always come to those knees. And then we're gonna find a little up dog, a little cobra, a little sphinx. See how that feels. Lengthen those legs back. And then meet me in down dog. If you want to take a moment here, because I did not program any of these in today, and if you feel like you want to bring that leg up just to find a little three-legged dog, you can. If you're like, I'm not feeling that, Holly, you can always take a child's pose. We're not going to be here long. And then I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to look at my hands. I'm going to step, hop, jump, float. Fingertips to shins, lengthen up. Find space between your head and neck. Exhale and fold. And then bend your knees, roll yourself all the way up to standing. Bring the arms high to the sky. Maybe you go a little side to side. And then release your hands. Woo! How you feel? Feel decent? Like I have body again. I have hamstrings again. It's amazing. Funny what a little breathing and movement can do, huh? I was feeling the hamstrings. So if you guys were like me, you were feeling it. They were hurting. All right, we're actually gonna do a little balance pose. Woo, you guys are like, oh my goodness. But you're totally gonna be able to do this, okay? So I'm gonna show you first, but we're basically gonna go into a shortened lunge, and then we're gonna come into a warrior three. So if you need something near you to hold on to, you can totally do that. So I'm going to show you how to do this. I'll show you from both ways. So when I step back, see which leg do I want to use? This one. Okay. So normally in my lunge, I'd step back here, right? I'm going to step back just a little shorter because I want to be able, I'm not doing this for stretch, right? I'm doing this to balance. So I'm going to be balancing on this front leg. So I want to think big toe, pinky toe, center of my heel, keep my ribs in. And what I'm going to do is come here to here. Now, and then bring it back here. What you may notice, you may be like, whoa, and you might come back down. You might have to shake it out for a second and then come back to that shortened lunge. Think about grounding into your big foot. Little, kind of like a little takeoff, right? A little, woo, takeoff kind of landing. So, nice, Sarah. So we're gonna do like 3 on each side, okay? So I want you, and I'll do it this way too. So if I'm here and I step it back and shorten, but I have train tracks, right? I do a little bounce and try to fly. Your arms might go everywhere. That's gonna happen. If you can straighten that front leg, awesome. And then you come back, whew, down. And then we fly again. And then back down. Ooh. And then we fly again. And then back down. Okay, once you've done that side, you can shake it out. Getting you guys at the balance this morning, huh? Think if you would have tried that right away, you would have been like, ooh, feeling those straight leg deadlifts that we did, right? Okay, we're gonna go other side. So, same thing. You're gonna step it back, shorten lunge. So you don't want a really wide lunge, because then you're having to like really try to take off and you get a little bit more in your low back. So bend, fly. It's okay if the back leg does not get all the way up. Okay, so if we are only here, that's all right. If we get to here or we have something to reach for, we can do that too. So you're flying across your basement. It's okay, you got the wingspan. It's all right. Woo. And sometimes it turns into different things. Woo. Nice, guys. All right, step it back into mountain pose. Bring those arms all the way up. Exhale, fold it down. Check in with your breath. Because surprisingly, you're like, wow, I didn't balance poses. Holy cow, it's like cardio, right? When we're like trying to really focus on doing something. Fingertips to shins, lengthen it up. Shoulders back. Plant your hands down, step back, hop back, jump back. You can always come to your knees. Find a little up dog, a little cobra. And then bring it back to child's pose. Take a minute here to just breathe. Deep breath into your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And just take a moment, because I know you're a little more awake now. So take a moment just to check in with your mind, with your body. Sometimes we wake up and we're like, oh, just not feeling it today. And a little movement like this and a little breath work and getting out of your own head. And sometimes just simply moving your body can move some of those feelings and those things that even if you don't understand them, can really just move them out of your body and make you feel better. Don't think that movement isn't a type of meditation, because it is. Deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And set an intention for the rest of your day. Then bring yourself up to tabletop. We're gonna do a little cat-cow. We'll thread the needle. Ooh, look, see, now we've made it to the floor now, huh? Yeah, I didn't want to put you here at first. You guys had all been asleep. Now you're awake. So a little cat-cow. And then I'm going to bring my knees just a little bit wider than my hips. I prefer to do it that way. And I'm going to bring my left hand to the outside edge of my mat. I'm going to bring hips over to the left and feel a stretch in the right inner thigh. And then bring them over to the right and bring that right arm up. I'm going to thread it through. So back of hand, back of arm, back of shoulder. Ooh, nice little pop in my back. And I might come in and out of this 2 or 3 times because I want to find that awesome pose before I rest my head down. So when I get to that good position, I'm going to make sure my shoulder's in a good position. I'm going to make sure my head is. I'm going to press my hand, palm up into the floor. I can keep my left hand down and look at it and get a nice little deeper stretch in my back, or I can bring the arm up looking at my hand, or look at the ceiling, open up my shoulder and bring my hand to my low back sacrum, or reach for my right quad. You're in a little bit of a twist, so it's not as easy to take deep breaths. When you're ready, if you're bound, you're going to release it. You're going to bring it back to center. You're going to cat-cow. And then we're going to switch sides. So right hand to the outside of your mat. Hips go over to the right. Then I bring them over to the left. Roll that left arm up. Thread it through. Back of hand, back of arm, back of shoulder. And then you just come in and out of this a couple times. And when you find that awesome position, so when we set down the side of our head, ground into the back of our left hand, right hand can stay on the floor, can come high to the sky, it can come to our low back sacrum. Trying to relax our breathing as much as we can. And when you're ready, you'll take that hand, you'll bring it back, and you'll come back to tabletop. Ooh. Now you're going to step your hands about a step forward, curl your toes, find your down dog, bend your knees as much as you need to, and we're going to come into a pigeon. So you can either just come into that pigeon and bring that right leg forward, or if you want, you can bring that right leg high to the sky and then bring that right leg forward into pigeon. So I'm going to shimmy back that back leg. What I like to do in pigeon is first find my position. Think about your front foot. Don't have it flexed. Have it like pointed so it's in the same direction as your leg. I like to come up on fingertips first and then lengthen up if it feels good. And then I kind of bring it down and I'll walk it from side to side. So I'll go from one side and press that hip back and lengthen as much as I can. And I might walk it. And I might find here, and I might check each side. Might use a block. And I just want you to take a moment to just take deep breaths. Let that hip open up a little bit. Still might be tight. And if we keep thinking in our mind or keep going and trying to hold that tension there instead of just thinking about focusing only on your breath. Yes, that hip is tight, but I want you to think about just deep breath in, exhale out. Almost imagine like with each inhale, you're bringing in like, whoo, all the things to like make that open up and feel amazing. And on the exhale, you're just going to exhale out all the soreness, any pain, any, old age. We're getting older. Things just hurt for no reason. So just think about inhaling, you're bringing in healing, exhaling, you're getting rid of all the stuff that doesn't feel good in your body. Now, when you're ready, you're going to bring it back. And you can either just come to your knees and then switch sides, or you can come to your down dog and get into this pose as well. But we're just switching sides. So same thing. Ooh, 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 ooh. So find that stretch first if you need. You can always lengthen up. And then you can bring it down. You can either stay in this pose, you can go side to side. Just depends on how you're feeling. And just think about if you feel that tightness and that tension, think about relaxing your face because we like to tighten that. Think about breathing, thinking about exhaling out anything that feels tight, tense is where you're holding tension. And you're inhaling, you're bringing in all the healing, all the good stuff, all the stuff from the world that's just going to help you heal and feel good in your body. So just focus on relaxing the shoulders from the ears, relaxing your breath down, taking deep breaths into your belly. And then on that next exhale, if you want to stay here for a little hot second again, you can. You're going to bring it up. I'm not going to do anything fancy. I'm just going to bring this leg out in front of me and bring it right in front of me. See how fancy that is? Those fancy transitions I do sometimes. We are almost to the best part of yoga and we're almost there. So hopefully if you have to leave early, I get it, but it's the best part of yoga. So first thing I want to do is just get my legs underneath me. And I'm going to bring my arms up and I'm going to press my hip back and I'm going to lengthen. Now, if you got tight hamstrings, this is why I brought my blanket. If you got tight hamstrings, these are little Mexican yoga blankets. They're awesome. You can do stuff like this. So, Tara's got one. She's like, oh yeah. So if you got tight hamstrings and you're like, Holly, oh my goodness, I can't touch that. I can't touch my legs. This is the best thing to do. Because what you can do is you can hinge up or lengthen up and then hinge back. Now it's not so intense on your hamstrings and you might even be able to get to your toes. Now, if you don't need that, you can always come here, whatever works for you, okay? Now we're gonna bring it up and I'm going to bring right foot to inner thigh. So think seated tree pose. Your hips are facing me, facing forward. Same thing, I'm just gonna come here. I'm gonna lengthen down and find a stretch. I might be here, I might be here. I might have a block here and be like, Holly, this is all I need, right? Because I don't need more than this. And just find a moment, just whoo. Then we're gonna bring it up and we're gonna switch legs. Nothing crazy intense. And we're just gonna lengthen up, hinge it back, try to find that stretch in the hamstring. If you need a bend in the knee, you can take a bend in the knee. And then you're gonna bring it back up. Last thing we're gonna do before we come into a little mini Shavasana is we're gonna come to the floor. We're gonna do legs up the wall without a wall. If you want a wall, you can, but really what we're going for is just finding this quick, right? So normally we'd do this up against the wall. If you need, you can always take a block. I like to do that too sometimes, and do it this way. And if you want to get real fancy and challenging, you can do this fun stuff where you try to hold the block. So in this pose, you don't have to do this crazy stuff with blocks, but in this pose, many times you feel like you're doing nothing, but really your heart's doing the work. Your heart has to pump all the blood up those legs. So your heart's getting the work in this pose, and the rest of your body is being able to relax. Now I'm gonna catch my block because taking it out. Now, if you wanna roll ankles here, you can. If you're not on a block and you wanna go little knee grabs, you can do that too. Because we're coming down into Shavasana. So if there's any pose that you need, like if you're like, oh, I need one more of these, or I need one more of these, go ahead and find that. I want you to find this. Okay, I'm not gonna keep you here super long. I'm probably only gonna keep you here about 2-3 minutes. Not my full-on long Shavasana I usually do, but I also don't wanna put you guys to sleep. So take up as much space as you want, close down your eyes, and I just want you to simply get in a place where you can let everything go, okay? So if you're like a person like me at times, I was very anxious about being in this position. I wouldn't know what to do. So what I would do if I was nervous is I would just tighten everything up and then relax it, and then tighten everything up and then relax it. And then it would just get me into a position where I actually would relax. So I want you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. And just take a moment to check in and see how your body feels, your mind feels. And take these few moments to just simply relax, release, and seal in your practice. So take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth and just let any little bit of tension, tightness, or anything else you have hanging around, just simply allow yourself and give yourself permission to let that go, let that release. And start to relax your feet, toes, your ankles. Maybe you let your feet just kind of splay out to the sides. Maybe your knees are slightly bent. I just want you to slowly go up your body and relax the kneecaps, relax the quads, and allow each part of your body to simply relax and release a little bit more than it was. And give yourself the time to just simply be in this position. Being able to just simply lay in corpse pose and allow your body to receive all the things that you've done this hour. You've moved, you've breathed, and now is the time for us to just simply release everything. So let go of that tightness, that tension, or anything we have left in those hips. Soften your belly. And notice the rise and fall of your belly. Notice how much easier you can breathe deeply into your belly versus the very beginning of class. It's without any effort now. You know where to bring your breath to relax yourself. Soften your skin over your heart. And allow yourself to be open to giving love, receiving love, and seeing all the love inside of you and all around you. Release your hands. Relax your fingers. Allow your fingertips to naturally just curl towards the palms. Settle into your forearms, elbows, upper arms, and soften your shoulders down from your ears. Release your jaw. Relax your throat. And allow your tongue to rest naturally on the roof of your mouth. Let those lines in our forehead, when we start thinking or worrying about this or that, or I have all these things to do, guess what? All the things are going to be there. So take a moment and allow your mind to relax as much as you have allowed your body to. All of the things will be there in 5 minutes. Just allow yourself to simply take a deep breath and relax. Let go of the things that are weighing you down. Let go of the things that are stressing you. Let go of the worry, the sadness, anything that you have inside of you right now that doesn't necessarily need to take up that space. Or maybe you just need to find a different way, mindset, or a way to look at what is in that mind space. Either way, if it's coming to you now, just take a deep breath and say, everything's going to be okay, and just let it go to the side. Feel the weight of your body settling in and relaxing into your space. And feel yourself simply release and relax. Take a deep breath into your nose. Exhale out to your mouth. Find 5 deep breaths on your own. Slow inhales, slow exhales. And once you find 5, you'll turn to your right or your left side. You'll take just a second to curl up in the fetal position. And you'll just take a moment in a fetal position on the side. Hopefully we didn't fall asleep. And then you're going to use the arm. Once you have come to your side, you're going to use the arm you're not using as a pillow. And you're going to push yourself all the way back up where we didn't start, because we started standing. Because you're all awake. See why I do the method to my madness? You're awake, but you're not too tired and you're not too sweaty and you're probably ready for your day. So as I end every class, bring our hands to heart center. The light and teacher in me honors the light and teacher in each and every one of you. Namaste. I hope you guys have an amazing, amazing day. I hope your body feels better. Remember, we don't have class on Monday. I am sending an email out. There will be no discrepancy or issues with June because of the way I'm moving. So, yay. All right, guys, I hope you have a great day. Have a great holiday. I'll email you guys and I'll see you on Wednesday. Bye, guys.